Hello, hello, hello. It is Dr. Naisha Cherry, your mind and body coach, yoga instructor, fitness instructor, and personal trainer, here for this wonderful week of Women's Health Week. And today for Let's Talk, I want to discuss the top 5 reasons why I found that women of color are not always healthy. So, before I get started with the reasons why, let's talk about a few of the statistics around women's health, especially Black women. So it is found that women over the age of 20 who are obese is at the percentage of 55.9%. 55.9%, that's over half of the women of color, specifically Black women, who are obese. Another statistic that I found was that 57.6% of women aged 20 and over have hypertension, which is measured by blood pressure, high blood pressure, and are taking anti-hypersensitive medication. So that's a lot of women of color that are diagnosed with hypertension, that have high blood pressure, which is not healthy if you're, well, it's not healthy for anyone, basically. Women of color have disproportionately higher rates of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, hypertension, and certain forms of cancer. And they also have increased mortality rates from cancer. So that's people, women of color. While on the other hand, white women are more likely to have breast cancer, but they don't necessarily die from it at the same alarming rate that Black women do. So every year, for example, 1,722 Black women die from breast cancer, which is an average of 5 African American women per day. That's a lot. And that's how I lost my mother to breast cancer. And so I really got on my health kick then, as y'all probably know from previous videos. That really was what made me get into this field of health and wellness. And so I found that there are 5 reasons why women of color are not always healthy. So, one, it is culturally acceptable as women of color, especially Black women, to be bigger. So therefore, we don't always want to lose weight. And we're finding that we are being diagnosed as obese by the doctor and not really wanting to do anything about it, because who wants to change the way the opposite sex looks at them? We want to be sexy with the voluptuous hips and booty and thighs, right? And so a lot of times that comes with the extra weight. And so we need to know that no matter what size we are, we can always be healthy. So that is where we need to focus our attention on, making healthy choices, not necessarily losing weight, but just being healthy overall. Which, you may lose some weight, but there's still a way to keep our voluptuous curves while losing weight. Number 2, our hair. So I struggle with that. I'm natural. A lot of us are. And as you see, my hair is normally pulled back in the ponytail, because when I get it done the next day or the day after, it is no longer straight. So our hair is, an issue with working out, or, being active, I should say. So after we spent tons of money and tons of time in the beauty salon chair, we're like, I'm not messing up my hair. But I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't care. I know my health is very, very important. And so I'll work out before I go to the gym. And then before I go to the hair salon. And then the next day, I'll maybe do a lighter workout. But after that, I'm like, it is what it is. My hair is clean from being washed. My ends are clipped, like all those things, deep conditioned, etc. So that's what's most important, having healthy hair versus me keeping a hairstyle. And also, ladies, we can do things like wear a wrap. We can get braids. We have a lot of versatility. Wear a wig, get some weave, whatever it takes to have healthier hair. Number 3, our traditional diet from slavery times that date back to those times. During those times, we were forced to eat for, survival and what was available. And unfortunately, that type of eating was not as healthy and is still prominent today. So soul food and all that stuff came from our slavery times. And so when we eat that same way, we are not in the same conditions. We don't have the same work ethic. We don't have the same moving ethic. We're sitting down a lot more. So that doesn't work for us as much. Another problem, number four, is that food is a lot of times at the center of our celebrations. So when we see other people that we haven't seen in a long time, we're celebrating something, instead of just enjoying each other's company and maybe having an activity that we're doing, a lot of times there is food. And what kind of food do we have? Food that is high in sugar, salt, carbs, all those kinds of foods that are not necessarily as healthy for us on a regular basis. So that is another issue. And then number five, societal norms. It's another thing that I'm seeing. So we're not seeing ourselves represented in the gyms. We're not seeing ourselves represented in yoga classes, which is another reason why I started doing yoga and teaching yoga to women of color, especially. So instead of going to, make our presence known in those kinds of classes, we give up. We don't represent the people of color. And when I was going to my yoga classes, I would normally be, or a lot of times, be like the only Black person in there. And I didn't care. I would still go. And then I would see more and more Black people as I became certified and started teaching. More Black women came to my classes. And so I feel like I had a part in increasing our representation. And so if each of us continue to go and work out, go to yoga classes, etc., and increase our representation, we will feel more welcome in those environments. So we have a lot on us. We really do. And that's a reason I did not list, but we feel guilty because we have so much on us. We want to make sure that everybody else is straight, that we put ourselves last. And when we put ourselves last, we're normally tired by the time it's time to pick something healthy, by the time it's time to exercise, etc. We're like, yeah, I'll do it later, and we never get around to it. So that's really a sixth reason. So it's Women's Health Week. Let's go ahead and implement healthy activities, healthy eating, etc. Make time for us on our schedule. So for Let's Talk today, once again, I don't know if I actually said it, but we're talking about Women's Health Week and how we can become healthier, especially as women of color. That is very, very, very important. So make sure that this week is about you and you figure out what you can do to improve your health, whether that's drink more water, implement an exercise routine, stand more. Like, what is it? Meditate, spend some time on your mental health. Like, what is it that you need to do for you to increase your health starting this week? Starting this week. So, no, it won't end this week. It starts. And we will continue this in our lifestyle as the weeks progress. So, I just wanted to come on for Let's Talk and get us motivated and fired up to do what we know that we should be doing every single day. And it all starts in your mind. So don't say, I don't feel like it. When you say I don't feel like it and all that, that's a thought. So you want to change your thinking. I feel like it. I know I need to be healthier. I know that moving my body, making healthy choices, getting enough sleep, putting my self-care up front, all those things will help me to be healthier, which will help me to help other people, which is important to me as well. And self-care is super important for my mental health. So just keeping in mind that we can't put ourselves on the back burner. Because guess what? If we pass away, then what? Those people that we're doing so much for, they're gonna have to either suffer or find someone else to fill in our shoes. Simple as that. And if you're doing all this hard work for a job, a 9 to 5, trust and believe when you are out the door, you are replaced very quickly. So you should definitely not be putting yourself on the back burner for a job. So make sure you are focused on taking care of you so that you are healthy and better for not just you, but your family and friends as well. All right, so that's it for Let's Talk. Let's talk. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.